What's up to my fellow inmates at the Asylum of Lorcan? It's Anguish, and I'm making a second video tonight on resource management of your account. Ooh, sounds fancy. But basically, I've done a lot of account takeovers to help people with Clan Boss, and I don't mind doing that at all. But something I've noticed is a lot of people are really mismanaging the resources they get and have on their accounts, and it really hurts them because even though I've been playing the game for like a year and some change, like I'm on Gerda for logins, and I think she's the third one once you get to this part. So whatever that is. Like I haven't been playing for like more than like a year and a half, and I have one of the most advanced accounts on in the clan, despite some people having 2 or 3 years into this game. And I think part of it just comes down to how I use my resources versus how other people use their resources. And I just wanted to make this video to try to help everybody understand what you can do to improve your standing and get the most bang for your buck when it comes to all the resources you have in game. And the first thing I'll talk about is like this top tab here. You've got energy, silver, and gems. All these things are resources, but so are all of these. All this stuff is all a resource. And then on top of that, these are resources. Like, I know everybody likes pulling shards because pulling shards is exciting and fun, but these are resources. It's essentially money. Everything in this game is money, and when you think about it as money, and you get stingy with when you spend your money, you'll find that you get further faster. The Great Hall, like these medals are essentially a resource. I mean, they make your account better, but also if you use them during CVC, like I just covered in my other video that I'm putting up basically at the same time, you get extra points for them. So it's like you're getting a little bit extra for doing the same thing. And that's the biggest thing with raid is if you're doing anything, make sure you're like getting double or triple rewards for doing it. So if you're pulling shards, like I would never pull an ancient shard without a 2x unless I need to do a summon rush, or not a summon rush with ancient shards, but a champion chase. Same thing with voids. I don't pull voids unless they're on 2x. Never for 10x. 10x voids, unless you're a major spender, are a total scam. Don't do it. Sacreds. Sacred shards are for summon rushes. That's all they're ever for if you're doing fusions. If you're not doing fusions, start doing fusions when they benefit your account. But when they're 2x on sacreds, yeah, here and there pulling one, especially if you're sitting in double digits, it's okay. But if you're ever under double digits for sacreds, the only thing they're for is for fusion and fragment chase, for the fusion and fragment events. Oh, what else? In your tavern, you have brews. Save your brews for champion training events, because I'm going to do something here. I'm going to spend a little money. By the way, if you don't want to watch that animation and you're playing on PC, you can just hit escape and quit and then come in here. And look, I have all these 1-star champions during champion chase. Or, I'm sorry, during champion training events. Put 3 1-stars into a 1-star plus 1 brew, hit upgrade, they're level 10, click this, boom, now they're a 2-star. Wash, rinse, repeat. And if you just need space, just do 2, and the next time you pull 10 mysteries, you'll be able to cap them out and send them to level 2 or rank 2. Excuse me. Your forge is a massive resource if you use it properly. Again, during CVC, you're going to get not only the gear and the silver from selling the crap gear that it makes, but you're also going to get points. So you're getting a double whammy there. The market, believe it or not, the market's super important. Buy the mystery shards on the market. Every time it refreshes, buy the mystery shards. Every month there's 5 ancients in here that can, up to 5 ancients can randomly populate. So every month, you can get 5 ancients out of here. Now you're saying, like, So going into energy, because that's probably the most important thing, where do you spend your energy? Well, look at the tournaments going on. And right now there's a dragon tournament. I'm not necessarily going for this fusion, but I could always use more speed gear, and dragon has speed gear. So I'm farming this, and I haven't decided if I'm going for this fusion, but if I do, I need to do this anyways. But for doing this, I got some extra silver, I got some extra potions, I got a 3-star chicken, I'm going to get gems, I'm going to get coins, and if I really go bonkers, I'll get a book. And if you sit there and you're like, well, somewhere in between the book and the shards, like, you might get some extra gems and some extra energy, which is always good. And if, like, these guys are going nuts, and I ended up in some pretty high brackets, so it just depends. But you could end up with some extra ancient shards, some charms. You could get some relentless gear, which is fantastic gear if it rolls well. And like, what events going on? Dungeon divers. Well, that's teams up with dragon. So all right, here's dragon. So like, farming dragon, getting dungeon divers, and then if there's champion training going on and you're gonna farm dragon 20, what I do is I would go like, if I'm not farming for speed, I'd go like that with champion training going on and the dragon tournament going on, come way down here and be like these three, and I'd hit go. And I don't have my Nishak in regen gear. If you have a Nishak or anybody else who can do this in regen gear, so you don't need 2 champions, you only need 1. Walking Tomb Drang is a great one, by the way, in case you're wondering, looking for an example. Ultimate Death Knight isn't, because he just doesn't have the damage output. It takes way too long. And this will take a minute because the shields on these guys is just through the roof. But whatever the case, you farm, you take 2 of those things, and now you're getting XP. So now you're also going to rank up some champions. And it's all about double and triple, quadruple dipping. Everything you do should just like be intentional, but it should also be it should be like benefiting you in more than one way. It's not just I got speed gear out of it. It's I got speed gear and leveled up some champions, or I got, artifacts from Spider, but they were worth so much silver that I didn't need to double down, or there was a tournament going on, or there was CVC and a tournament going on. And as you can see here, like Nishak with the poisons and the bombs, with how I have mine built, he just rips through things, and the dragon will never get to use his thing because the poisons will rip that all apart, which is fantastic. Like, we've already filled his debuff bar. So, yeah, he didn't get to do his Mega Blast, which is kind of sad because these guys will stay alive, and then Ultimate Death Knight won't move faster or hit harder, which is whatever. It's fine. We're going to be done with this in just about 2 minutes. Use your faction war keys, even if you're just farming the basic faction wars, because glyphs are important. Like, especially with speed tuning, sometimes you just need 1, 2, and 3-star glyphs in order to get your speed tuned in exactly right. Because some speed builds are just like, they're down to like, there's wiggle room of 2, and look at that. That's junk. That's junk. There you go. But as you can see there, got some levels on those guys. Got some silver. Could potentially add some loot. But going into faction wars here, like, even if you can't fill it out, even if you haven't beat faction wars, just do the best you can and set up any team. Because even 2 to 4, like getting 2 to 4 or 3 to 4. This is probably the best thing if you like don't have a strong team. 3 to 4 right here, because 3 to 4 on, let's just pretend my Arbiter here isn't geared out and going super fast and turn into the left. Like 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, and 21. That's if there's all 3. So 21. So if she lost 21 speed, that'd put her at like 290. if she gained 21 speed, she'd be at 333. That'd be pretty cool. Um, and the amount of times I've gone to do account takeovers and people don't have that. Like, you want to have a steady stack of these things coming in. Like, 4-star, and I use 4-star for almost everything because the other thing that's a resource is down here is the missions, and there's challenges, but I completed all of them. And those give you resources. Missions give you resources. I'm stuck on reaching Silver 4 and Tag Team. But like getting up to here, there's so many XP, energy, charm, shards, chickens, you name it. Like all this stuff adds up. And it's important to keep working at it. Like, it will make a difference. Now, like I said, I'm stuck here, and a lot of you will get stuck here because of how 3v3 works. Plarium should fix that. They should just make it so... They should make it like regular arena, where you just move up and down, and it's based on points. But they don't. It's annoying. Altar of Souls, like I said, a lot of you might not be doing Iron Twins or might not be doing very much Iron Twins. Don't worry about it. Just when you can, if you get these guys, buy the shards. Sit there and wait. When the events happen, wait for events now, because they're doing events for shards. Now, I'd wait for the Soul Chase instead of the Soul Summon events, because the Soul Summon events are based on these three, and the Soul Chase is based on just anything you can get your hands on, which generally makes it easier to get points. A couple weeks ago, we had one, and I was surprised how many points I could get. And ever since then, I've started saving. I will not spend these except for a Soul Chase event again. Not a Soul Summon, Soul Chase. If it's giving you points per the Soul Stone, you don't want to do it. You want to do it on the ones that are giving you based on the rank and rarity. Or that's what I think based on the way the last one worked. Now, if they change what you get in terms of points per, it might not be worth it. Other thing, like, this is weird to think about, but all your champions are a resource. Like, all of these guys could be 4- and 5-star chickens if I so chose, but they're also faction. Like, we have faction guardians, and I have a whole lot of gold in my faction guardians. That should make somebody mad. There's a Helicath around here too. He's probably up here. Oh, no, he's still in there. Anyways, fill out your faction guardians. Do not feed champions from... Look at the Painkeepers and the Renegades. So good. Don't feed these guys. Like, until you get to a point where... Like, don't feed any champions until you're like, oh, yeah, all my blue are filled out. So, cool. Now you... Except for Sylvan Watchers. I can't feed Sylvan Watchers yet. But get all your guys filled all the way out, because it adds so much stats. So if you're using, like, and a lot of people aren't using rares, but people are using Cold Heart, right? You want your Cold Heart to have an extra 10% HP because they're squishy as shit. 10% attack, that's good. I mean, it adds a little bit. Accuracy and resistance. Cold Heart does need some accuracy. So 7 extra accuracy, that's a good roll on a 4-star glyph. Defense and speed, like, it's just a little bit of increase, but it makes your character basically 10% better than every other Cold Heart that doesn't have that. And the bonuses get bigger as you go up. So, like, the first isn't, like, the attack, the HP isn't, but the accuracy, resistance, that stuff increases as time goes on, and the speed becomes more. And this, like, can make it easier to hit those minimums you need if you're, like, trying to do a speed tune of some sort. So your champions are a resource. Time is a resource. If you open your faction guardians, like, I've maxed mine out, but, like, get all these open, even if they're just rank 1, and put 4-star food in here. Like, you know you're going to feed guys, or you know you want to level guys up, just... like, get them to level 15 and then stick them in here. And every time you log into the game, you're going to be able to just click down the line and you're going to level them up. After about a week, you're going to have 5 champions that are level 40. and it cost you nothing to do because you took advantage of the free XP resource that is available. So make sure you're doing that. And I suggest only using this on rank 4 champions, because rank 5 champions to go from 1 to 50 will take a very long time. In fact, most of the basically because of how every level requires more and more XP, once you get to like level 35, or once I get to level 35, it usually takes me about 8 to 10 hours to get to the next level, whereas like the first 35 levels usually take under 2 hours. It spikes up dramatically, and I don't think it's worthwhile. Also, if you're taking anything from rank 5 to rank 6, you probably just want to actively level it up anyways because it's a champion you want to use. Whereas these are, for the most part, are champions that I don't care to use, except for Seeker. I'm keeping this one. But the rest of these are junk. I'm just not in a hurry to use Seeker, so I'm letting the passive thing have its day. Gems are probably the other thing I want to talk about big time, because gems are really easy to get. On July 1st, I stopped spending, or I did nothing to acquire any more gems. I've, in the past, gone to the daily gem pack. This is a great deal. This is probably one of the best deals that Raid offers. $10 for 2,140 gems. If you're going to spend money on Raid, that is the way to spend it. Or do the Raid card, because 70 extra multi-battles a day, when you want to push the pace of your account, and banging out 110 multi-battles can really make things easy. But the XP and silver, all in all, isn't really worth it. Especially because it's from battles. It's not from selling things, it's only from battles. So, gems. There are two things to use, or there are three things to use gems for. Number one, the gem shop, buying the big shard pack. You got, like I said, you're buying a resource here. Shards are just a resource. And you're like, oh, but I need champions. You might not need champions. You might need speed gear. A lot of people have they have like amazing champions and no gear to gear them with, which makes their champions dog shit. The other thing you can spend gems on is masteries. It's probably the only thing that I've never done that I know is actually worse for my account, but for the most part, I just gem out my masteries. People either have them or they don't. But a couple times I have farmed all the way down, but like Nut, when I got Nut, 800 gems, just spent them, got it. Everybody who has masteries has them, and everybody who doesn't, like Marinix, Arbiter, the couple that you saw that were like partway done, Abyss here, like they're basically not worth farming for me, in my opinion. It is cheaper to spend gems just buying energy to farm Minotaur, but the amount of time, multi-battles, etc. that goes into that is such that I would rather spend those gems farming. I would rather spend time farming Dragon, because I only have so much time to play the game. And it's, you either spend time playing the game or you spend more time playing the game. But like there's like, you also might not, if you don't have this and you have 50 multi-battles a day, you can put 50 multi-battles into Minotaur and gem some of that, and then eventually run out of multi-battles. Or you can put 50 multi-battles into Dragon and just gem your masteries. And you're basically spending twice as many gems. Like, it'll cost you 400 to farm them with Minotaur. It'll cost you 800 just to buy them. Also, since July 1st, I've only participated in events and tournaments. Again, I haven't purchased anything. I've just played the game, double dipping where I can. And I've bought Nuts Masteries. I would be at 18,200 gems today if I hadn't bought those masteries. So I've gotten, and I started at 16,000 on July 1st. I was like basically flat right there. So I would get 2,000 gems a month just by playing the game. So if you're just playing the game, Like you go into Dungeon Divers here and you're like, yep, I got those 15. Like, I know it's 15, right? But you go to tournaments over here, and let's look at that dragon tournament again, because how many gems did that give? Oh, 25. So you're at 40 gems right there. Every 3 days there's a new tournament, there's a new event. There's almost always something going on. So if you're just adjusting what you're doing and spending your energy or your silver based on what's up, you will get so much farther. Like, I don't upgrade gear to levels 12 or 16 unless there's an artifact enhancement event going on. So if we go look at, I know Thea. Thea is got 6-star level 15. I would love to add 14% attack. I would love to spike out her HP here and maybe get one more roll into attack. If I go to sort by faction and scroll way down, and we keep scrolling. There it is. We get down here, like, next time there's an artifact enhancement event, I will max this out, I'll max that out, I'll max that out, I will cap that. Ruella, I'll cap these. Like, she's got 1, 2, like, I've got stuff ready to go. And the reason why is that usually those artifact enhancement events are happening during fusion events or fragment events. So I'm trying to get the fragment, I'm trying to improve my gear, and I'm trying to get the rewards for doing the actual artifact enhancement event besides for the fusion. And if I'm prepared to go, this is going to cost me a couple $100,000, maybe $1 million. But if I just try to go from like 8 to 16, it's going to cost me $2.5 million. That I probably ended up spending somewhere else. Then I wouldn't be sitting in my. I probably wouldn't be prepared. I probably wouldn't have like 40 or 50 million silver here, so I could do that. I probably would have been like, oh, I don't need silver that bad right now, and I would forget about it. And look at that. And I'll click the thing. And that's the thing. It's like always try to double and triple dip what you're doing. And I get it. People have lives. You have a lot of stuff to do. Everybody does. I'm just trying to tell you guys how I do it so that I can be as successful as possible as I play this game. When you're doing Tag Team Arena, something to do every time the thing resets, go down to a 1-team defense, and it'll push you down here into the drop section. When you're in the droppy section and you hit refresh, you're going to be like this, and people are already starting to add their defenses back in, and I probably will too. In the next day or two, there's going to be, even in the drop section, you're going to have real defense teams in here who are, trying to actually either stay or move back up. And that's what you do. Is like usually with about 3 days to go, you use up all your tokens, you get to where you can, and you hang on. Because also do 3v3, because here's 300 energy, here's a blue shard, here's a rank 3 chicken. You don't have to be in silver to get it. If you can get to silver, here's a void shard. Additional resources I didn't even talk about. The clan. The clan provides you with resources if you do the clan quests. And you don't have to do the elite quests. Decapitate 10 Hydra heads on Brutal. We don't even have Brutal unlocked. Spider's Den 20 plus with all Shadowkin. If you got the champs for it, take it and do it. But like some of these are just a lot. Use 10 rank 5 or higher glyphs. That's a huge waste because unless you're on the mission that wants you to use the glyphs, which there it is, get 40 max subset stat upgrades using rank 5 or higher glyphs. I don't use rank 5 or higher glyphs until I get to these missions, unless I really, really need something to happen. But I always look at it like this game tries to pressure you into doing things at a time that you're not ready to do them. So I save everything up so I don't feel pressured to spend. So going back to the clan shop, this week, this lasts for 7 days. There's 1,000, if you had 1,000 gold coins for the clan gold, you could have 1,000 free energy, right? You could have 4 million, or well, you need a little more than 1,000 gold coins. You need close to 2,000, but you'd have 4 million silver. You could have a free void shard. This was 900. Sometimes this one can be a legendary book for 3,000. And like, just click through here, because like, win a total of 10 rank 5 or 6 artifacts from Dragon's Lair. If you farm Dragon 20, you just need to run Dragon 20 10 times and you're done. That's easy. Get 10 rare champions. That one's actually kind of stupid. I wouldn't do that one. I wouldn't suggest anybody that. Win a total of 10 rank 5 or accessories from Spider. That's Spider 20 or higher. You're instantly done. Get 5 artifacts weapon from this forge. If you go to the forge and you go to there and you have weapon, I have 222 get weapon charms because I never tried to do this. But here we go. Let's see. I got 1, 2. I got 2 there. Let's do it again. 3, 4, 5. So I had to make 20. And I'm going to turn around and I'm going to sell all that and make money. Or I'm going to make silver on that. But then I would end up getting, 100 clan gold. If you do this every week, it adds up. And like, sometimes you don't need to go buy this. But if you're in the middle of a fusion, you're like, oh, fuck, I don't have that many gems. I'm hurting for silver. I'm hurting for energy. Like, I'm going to fail this. And I've just, like, you're getting to the end and you dumped 8 sacreds. You're out of everything. So you're coming to this point of like, I don't know what to do. And then your mouse gets dragged down here and you're starting to look like, what kind of packs could I buy? This is how you avoid that feeling. This is how you avoid having to ever do that, is just by sitting there and being ready ahead of time, having resources built up, and having 60,000 energy is not the way. Just so we're clear. Also, look, the shop refreshed. Oh, 1 mystery shard. Yes, please. And the other thing is, like, I don't buy the rank 2 champions because there's a cap on the amount of champions I can have. That, like, I'm at 300, right? But there's no cap on the amount of mystery shards I can hold. There's no cap on chickens. You can hold unlimited amount of chickens. You can hold unlimited amount of brews. You can hold unlimited amount of books. And you can use that to determine how you play the game and when you do what you do. Rather than making raid make you do things, you get to do things how you want. And that will make a big difference. This has been a long video. I think I'm going to wrap it up there because I think I hit everything that was worth hitting about. But overall, just remember, everything is a resource, and there are tons of ways to get resources and chickens and gems. Doom Tower, doing Doom Tower, like, there's gems and energy almost every single day, except for floor 30 is apparently the bullshit floor that gives nobody 30. Yep, okay, so there's some energy again, there's some gems again. And like, that's the thing, is like, this doesn't cost you anything to do except time. And with Doom Tower now, they added the auto climb. And I will say, with Doom Tower and auto climb, my auto climb team is pretty stacked. But if you take out Ragash and Nishak, Daliana, Belor, anybody with an AoE A1 or multiple AoE abilities. I used to have Soulbound Boyer, and Daliana's in a stun set, Uko's in a stun set. You just put every single champion here as an AoE champion, and all you do is put them in a stun set, and they will literally run through every single level of Doom Tower normal except the boss, as long as they're reasonably fast and geared. And they don't even need accuracy because of the stun set. So I'm just going to quick throw that in there at the end. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was helpful. I want you guys to be successful, and I want us as a clan to like kick ass, and that's only going to happen if we play well. So hope you guys have a good night. Peace out.